Hey guys, it is John C. Morley here. It is so great to be with you guys today, and definitely want to welcome you to the IFYL show. It is great to be with you guys. We have another great show, but before we get into the master topic of the show, I want to thank you guys all for being here, and I want to just remind you of what I do in case you guys don't know. I help people tell a story that leads to them growing a more profitable and scalable business. So if you're looking for that, feel free to reach out to me, scan the QR code, but also scan the QR code and check out all of my amazing content, which I'm sure you definitely will do. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So when we think about topics in our life, I think the biggest challenge that happens when we think about a topic is we're wondering, why something is going a certain way, why it's not going a certain way. But thank you so much for being here. Whether you're here live with me tonight at like 8:30 at night, 8:30 in the morning, 3 a.m., 3 p.m., 12 noon, 12 midnight. Really appreciate you being here. And like I said, we start every Saturday with a new master topic, which we'll be doing tomorrow. And we have a brand new master topic, well, coming up tomorrow. So you're definitely going to want to obviously check that out. But tonight's master topic is pretty cool. To reach way up, you have to dig deep down. Series 2, second year, show 36, episode number 7, ladies and gentlemen. Great to be with you. All right, so when we think about, let's say, this topic, a lot comes to mind, all right? So let's just get right in with it. First thing is, digging deep down is not something you're going to master in one day. So let's just get that out of our head. What should I dig deep down with? Because people say, John, I don't know what to dig deep down. I've never dug deep in my life. All right, so not a hard thing. So we're going to start with the very simple thing, which is the fact that we have to dig deep down with our feelings. We have to feel it first and manifest it second. So we have to start with our feelings. Our feelings is the part where we start. Incidentally, if you are new here, just grab that smartphone of yours, launch the camera app, point over the QR code like so, touch the yellow lips. You'll get my link tree as easy as that. If you're not watching me, but you're listening to me only like on a podcast, then go to believemeachieve.com for more of my amazing, inspiring creations. So we have to be really on page with connecting to our feelings, but not just connecting, actually feeling them and feeling them in our heart, not just like saying I'm going to feel them. You got to feel them in your heart. That's the only place you can feel them. That is so very important. The next thing you're probably going to want to do to be able to dig deep down is once you've mastered the feeling thing, and that could take you a while, okay? Some people say, John, how do I feel something if it hasn't happened yet? Well, that's a great question. Imagine a future version of yourself, and with that future version of yourself, I want you to picture that person doing whatever it is, okay? Another thing you can do is you can play a little mind trick game where when you're doing something, you could be brushing your teeth, you could be in the store. What would I be like if this has already happened? How would I stand? How would I talk? What would be different about me? So that's another real good one that puts you into the position of, where you are. To dig deep down, ladies and gentlemen, I said you have to get rid of your goals and start adopting promises. Okay? So you have to understand that you don't really want to have promises, goals. You want to have promises in your life, because those that have goals will sometimes not achieve them. And people are like, it's just a goal. I'll do the best I can. If I don't get it, I don't get it. We'll get it next time. Well, that's a lousy attitude. So when you adopt a promise and you don't come through on the promise, like, oh, gee, I can't believe I didn't do that. Oh, I got to make sure I do it next time. Like, you really feel bad about yourself. Or you promise someone else, like, oh, I promised him. I got to do that. I have to still do that. So it really holds you accountable. I think that's a really cool thing. And so when we think about that, hopefully that'll get you to dig deep down. So when we understand our feelings, we understand our promises, we have to understand what we have to understand our commitment. That's right, our commitment. So we have to really be on page with our commitment. With our commitment. Now, that might sound like something that's really hard to understand, but it's not. Commitments are just you accepting the responsibility that you're not going to let anyone or anything get in the way of you achieving your goals. Okay? A promise is you're going to do this. A commitment is nothing's going to get in the way of that. Nothing. I'm going to do everything I need to do to make sure that that becomes a reality. Some people, they're not ready to commit, whether it's relationships, whether it's a new lifestyle, whether it's doing some extra work in their life. They're just not ready to commit. And that's okay, but you have to at least know that. All right? The next thing that you have to do to be able to dig deep down is you have to make sure you take massive action steps. So we'll go through a scenario in a minute. So what else do you do besides taking massive action steps? And we're gonna kind of role play through once you get the idea of how to do this. The next thing is you to dig deep. You've got to, right? Take the massive action steps, and you got to have the celebrations. Whether it's something small or it's something large, I don't care. You need to celebrate it. Celebrate it. Celebrate it. That's what you need to do. You need to celebrate it. And when you celebrate it, your life will change because, it's like you're being grateful. And I think that's a pretty amazing step, is to be grateful. All right. So we got the general idea. I'm going to give you the last one, and then we're going to go through and do an example together. Okay. The last one is rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. Well, John, that doesn't sound very hard. No, it's not. But you keep rinsing and repeating until it becomes a natural habit. All right, let's go through this scenario together, all right? So let's just say, let's just say you want to manifest some more money in your life. Okay, or maybe a car. Let's say a car. Let's do a car. So the first thing you're going to do is you want to have the feeling of that car. Maybe you can go drive that car, take a test drive, and really lock in on those feelings. Okay, you can put screensaver pictures of the car. You can make it your background, put it on your phone. You can do a lot of things. And then you can even sit in your chair at home, close your eyes, and pretend you're driving that car. No, I did that and that really worked. But if you can't do this, then picture a future version of yourself that's already in the car and is already enjoying that beautiful car. All right? That's how that works. So you have the feeling. You're going to promise yourself, I'm going to get this car. Okay? Commitment. I'm committed. I'm going to do whatever I need to do to get this car. I'm going to take massive action steps. That can vary if you whatever it is. And then when you get the small wins, not just a big win, you're going to make sure that you celebrate. And then, ladies and gentlemen, you know what you're going to do? You're going to rinse and repeat. So let's review. In order to reach way up, you have to dig deep down. So in order to dig deep down, you have to understand that it's about really harnessing and connecting with those feelings in your heart. Making sure the promises are there. Okay? Commitment. We talked about the importance. You can put it on a calendar, set reminders. We talked about that before. The commitment. Massive action steps. MAS, right? What massive action steps you can take? Celebrations. Celebrate the minor and the major milestones that you're reaching. And, of course, R&R. Rinse and repeat until it's a natural habit. That's it, my friends. That's how easy it is to do. But why is it people don't do this? Well, they think if they just close their eyes, it's just going to happen. So closing your eyes will get you in the right mindset and will put you in the right frame. But you have to do what you need to do. Okay? You have to do what you need to do. And that sounds like it's not very hard, right? But people fall off the bus or the boat because they don't take the massive action step, or they don't make the promise like, oh, you know what? I'll promise myself another time. Okay, great. Promise yourself another time. And then when you see you're not getting there, you're like, oh, shoot, maybe I better do something else. Maybe, right? So I love this topic about digging deep down because it's important. Now, I recently wrote an article that'll be releasing very soon. So let's just say you wanted to be able to reach way up high to grab something. But first of all, let's say you have to be tall enough. So I'm like 6'1", but let's say you weren't tall enough, then you have to get a ladder or a step stool to be able to get to that level, right? The second thing you need to do is if your arm is here and it's pretty far in, you have to get something to help your arm extend in. If you don't have those things, then, or you don't have that physical ability in your body, you have to adapt to those things. So you can reach and get that paint can or get that box of candy or get that tool on the shelf or whatever it is you're trying to get. A lot of people say to me, hey, John, I tried. Okay. And I ask them, well, what did you do? Well, I tried. Right, but what'd you do? Oh, I tried to get the box and I just couldn't. What do you mean you couldn't? Well, I went over there and I saw that I'm only 4'6" and I'm not tall enough to get it. So, I'm out. You're out. So why don't you just get a ladder? Oh, yeah, get a ladder. Oh, my arms are too short. Well, you got sticks. You can just reach something. So people give up before they even try. Their version of try is, yeah, I did everything. I had a gentleman the other day, a nice gentleman I've known for a while, and I was going through a situation, and I just mentioned it not to brag or anything like that, but I was just mentioning it. And his response to me, guess what his response to me was? His response to me is, suck it up. Now, in light of the situation, it was beyond my control, so there was nothing I could do. I thought that comment was very rude. If he was saying that to me with tough love to you got to pursue forward, but this was something that I had no control over and something that was affecting my surrounding that I had no control over. The only thing I could do is leave the surrounding and go somewhere else. I could do that for a short period of time, but I couldn't without getting into what it is. So I think other people, they always want to make it that, oh, you can just do this. But, when it's time for them to do just this, you know what they do? Well, I can't do that. Just like the guy who didn't want to go get the ladder. When he knew he was short, why didn't he just get the darn ladder? I don't know. Why do you think about it? I don't know. Why? I think it's because people don't quite understand that if we have a limitation, we have to have that bridge, and we sometimes have to build it ourselves. Let's say, for example, I don't know. Let's say that you were trying to pour 2 gallons of a liquid into a 1-gallon container. Like, oh, I can't do it. I'm out. Well, then you got to get another container. I think people sometimes quit before they even start. So why do you even start if you have this desire to stop before you even put like all your effort in? Well, John, I'm tired. Yeah, I get it. There was a wise person I was listening to several years ago, and he was preaching to this a group of kids. It was an inner city group of kids, and they were all in school. I think they were all, I think, in junior, senior year of high school. And he said to them, I don't want to hear your excuses. Well, but I'm tired, but I have to go out with my friends. But I can't, I won't. It's like, I'm sick of hearing the excuses, because the only excuse I want to hear is that you've done it. Telling me you're too tired, telling me that you don't think you can do it, telling me that it's not possible, telling me that you don't have the skills. You're just proving yourself that you can't do it. You're proving yourself that you can't do it. And the way that you get yourself to do it is just do it. All these excuses, I have to go visit a friend, have to go visit a boyfriend, have to visit a girlfriend. I'm tired tonight. I want to go out with my friends. I want to go play ball. I want to do this. I want to do that. And he said something very interesting about, you aren't serious about he called them goals. I'm going to call them promises. I said, but yeah, coach, we are. No, you're not. He says, when you get as serious about taking the steps you need to, as you do when you take each breath every day, that's when you'll be successful. They're like, but we have to breathe and we won't live. Exactly. When you have that same level of passion to enjoy that next breath, you will do what you need to do. If the universe gives you lemons, you got to make them into lemonade. If something doesn't go right, you got to make it right. If somebody says they don't want to work with you, go find someone else to work with. If a relationship's not working out, find someone else. If you're constantly telling yourself that you can't do something, and you keep making all these excuses up because of fear, false evidence appearing real, you breathe every day, right? When you get as serious about taking breaths in life each day as you do, then you'll be successful. When you get as serious as you can about living your passion and taking massive action as you do, taking your breaths each day, then you'll be successful. The class all went silent because this class was used to challenges. They had drug issues. They had issues with family members. They stole. They did all kinds of things. And they just felt that, somebody would take care of them because, they're inner city. And I get they need help. I get that. I'm not against that. My problem was, don't you dare use the fact that you're inner city as an excuse to tell me that you can't do something, because that's a crock. I'm going to say it once again. When you get serious every day about being successful and doing your studies, okay, or doing your work or going to your job, then you'll be successful. You can't wait for somebody to throw a party and let you just sob. See, that's not being successful. That's counterproductive. And it could be a condition. You could have cancer. You could have some type of ailment in your body. And I don't wish anything bad on you. But if that is the case, okay, whether it's temporary or permanent, you have to keep moving forward. I'm going to talk about one that I had, not to brag about myself, but just to give you a situation. So several years ago, I broke my tib and fib through no fault of my own. I was skiing in the resort, basically. Didn't know how to run the mountain anymore. The grandfather gave it away to their kids. They didn't know anything about money, resorts, and definitely know anything about skiing or business. And I remember coming down the one mountain, and it was a little icy. So I said, I'm going to go try the next mountain, the higher mountain, the Blue Mountain. Got up there, was going halfway down. I went right, went left, went right, went to turn left again. My left ski locked, and I broke my tib and fib. And the first thing that went through my head is, I need help to take care of my leg. People around me are like, oh, there's nothing wrong with your leg. You're fine. Now, I knew I needed help. Went to the hospital. They wanted to do an operation. I didn't want that. I healed myself with something called bone knit and homeopathics. And when I came out of the hospital, I had this 70-pound cast. Why I had the cast that heavy is not important. It was the guy was being spiteful. But anyway, had the cast on me, and I couldn't walk. Right? My one leg, I could not walk. I could use crutches if I wanted to. I could use my wheelchair. And so I was in the cast from like February 28th or March. So March to April, April to May, May to June, right? I was in that cast to June 12th. And so all during that time, I get up in the morning. I knew it was hard to get dressed and stuff like that, so camp with an accommodation. The accommodation was wearing like these large baggy pants that they would use like when you play basketball, that I could just quickly unsnap and snap back. Couldn't take a shower. That wasn't possible. So I took a sponge bath every day. When I got up in the morning, I would get up early, anywhere between 6 to 8, whatever. I'd have breakfast. I would, do this. I wouldn't complain, even if it was so hard. I'm like, I'm just going to do the best I can. I have all day. I have nowhere to go, but I'm going to do this myself. And I did. I went in my wheelchair all by myself, didn't get any assistance. And so I say this to you because it was that fighting spirit that got my leg to heal. It was that attitude. I knew that the condition I was in was temporary. But some people's conditions, even though they're temporary, they make them a sentence for life because they want sympathy, because they believe they need someone's help. Help is different than you realizing that you have to take massive action and steps. What was my massive action? Having a positive attitude every day. Making myself breakfast, taking a sponge bath, getting in my wheelchair, going outside and enjoying the fresh air. I even went to some meetings that I had where I live in my community, all myself in wheelchair. People were like, oh my gosh, like you're doing it all yourself. I said, I'm fine. You're coming down those hills. I said, yeah, I'm fine. And so that was determination. Whether it was some friends, whether it was my family, they're like, wow, John, you're really getting around. You're really like self-sufficient. I knew that if I wanted to get better, I had to take those steps myself. I couldn't be holding someone's hand all day long. I needed to do the best I could do. First time I took the sponge bath and things, it was hard. It wasn't easy, but I got better each day. And I had a routine. And so first time I did it, it took me like an hour. Then it took me 45 minutes. Then I got it down to 30 minutes. I think finally I got it down to 15 or 20 minutes because I got a routine down. And even the process of, getting out of bed, how to move that leg a certain way, how to get around. I had a few neighbors bring me breakfast and food, which was nice, but I didn't live for that. I said, I'm going to do what I need to do because I'm going to get better. And I did. June 12th, I went to the doctor. They took the cast off. When they took that cast off, my foot, I could feel a little bit, but I didn't have full feeling in it. I was like, oh. And I keep thinking to myself, I think maybe they forgot about something. Maybe they forgot about a part in my foot because I had never had this kind of break before. I broke my legs before, up when I was probably 1 or 2, all the way up to the groin area, like they had put a cast away up there. So I will tell you that this was an experience for me. It was a learning experience. And when that cast came off, I went to my parents actually picked me up. They were here. And I went to a store, and that leg was up, had some crutches, but I still was not 100% about putting any pressure on that foot yet. That foot felt really funny. And 3 or 4 hours later, I got full feeling back in the foot. But I was not ready to step on that foot. Sometimes the phone would ring, and I would forget, and I would just take that natural step on the left, like, oh, that feels funny. It didn't hurt, but it felt funny. I had to rehabilitate that foot and leg because it atrophied, because it was in a cast for all those months, right? March, April, April to May, May to June, 3 months. And so I think sometimes people do this with their lives. They let their lives atrophy. They let their abilities atrophy. And then they go so low that they don't know what to do with them anymore. They don't know what to do with them, and then they have no way to come out. So if you learn how to dig deep down and be your own best role model and have that positive attitude, do the things we talked about tonight, which is quite a bit of things, right? But summarizing the feelings, really feel them. The promises in your heart, the commitment, massive action steps, write them down, put them on a calendar, send an auto reminder so it lets you know. Make sure you're in those celebrations, small and large, and then rinse and repeat. These are the things that will make you a champion. Hey guys, you know who I am. I am John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. You know it's been a privilege. It has been an amazing pleasure and honor to be with you this fantastic evening. That is for sure. So I do help people tell a story that leads to them growing a more profitable and scalable business. Be sure to check me out at believemeachieve.com. Like, love, support the channel, comment below, tag your friends, colleagues, and associates. Click on believemeachieve.com and click on the link to help keep our content free and make the choice. Buy my team and I a cup of coffee, a bowl of fruit, a scrumptious bowl of desserts, and we'll be so grateful with those pennies and dollars that you give us that we'll invest into new hardware, new technology, new equipment, new software, new facilities, and even new staff to give you the most jaw-dropping motivational content to empower you. I leave you with this one phrase, and that is this. If in life you find that you can't do something, whatever it is, and it's so hard, I want to ask yourself one question. Ask yourself one question. Am I putting the same amount of energy and desire into this as I do into breathing and staying alive every day? If I am, great. If I'm not, which I believe you probably aren't, go back and analyze, because I think there's a lot more that you could put forward. And when you do that, well, ideas will unlock possibilities. And with possibilities, you will become a success. I hope you guys have an amazing evening. And we're going to catch you guys, you know when? We're going to catch you guys tomorrow. So take care, everyone. Be well. And remember, to reach up high, you have to dig deep down. There is no shortcut.